what the business was like 4 or 5 months ago.
It was chaotic. We were doing a lot of stuff for free. We had absolutely no system for getting clients.
Share a little bit about like the transformation for that.
When someone's going, oh, if we're going to spend $500 a month on ads, what is that going to get us? And I can go into the numbers. I can pull up a spreadsheet.
So now the offer is more like outcome driven and what, like 10x the cost now?
Oh yeah. I won't take on a new client unless it's $5,000 up front for the most cases.
Like what have been the sales results that you've been able to get?
If someone told me you have to book 100 sales calls next week, I could do that. I feel very confident in that.
What's the mechanism that you're doing to generate leads?
I love the authority funnel.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube case study, long form video case study, whatever you want to call it. Joined by my dude Max. What's up, Max?
What's up, Austin? It's an honor to be here.
Dude, it's an honor to have you here. You well deserved it.
Thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do it without agency.
I'm not paying him to say that. Cool, man. Well, for the people watching this, why don't you just give a quick intro, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff, and then we'll get into a little bit about your journey.
Yeah. My name's Max. I am the founder of tradesmark.com. We do a little bit of content and lead gen. And yeah, we focus on primarily businesses in the financial services, but we have some businesses that are outside of that. Mostly those have been through word of mouth.
Sick. Let's go. So 5 months ago, 4 months ago, tell me a little bit about what the business was like. What were you doing? How were you scaling? What was your offer? What was life like 4 or 5 months ago?
It was chaotic. I think it would be a stretch to call it a business. It was me doing tasks and trying to see some money in return for them. Mostly we'd start by doing stuff for free for people because I thought that's just, how am I going to charge someone if I haven't gotten the experience before?
Yeah.
So we were doing a lot of stuff for free. We had absolutely no system for getting clients. I'd be writing 300 handwritten letters at night and then mailing them, and I'm spending like $200 on stamps. I remember I wrote the letters. I'm like, oh, I got to buy stamps. And I'm like, stamps are this much?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. And then, of course, no one, that didn't go anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, no, not one response. Then I'd start calling them up. I'm calling up the list. I'm like, hey, did you get my letter? They're like, no.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a pretty poor lead gen
Strategy
system.
of getting clients. So when you say that you're like doing deliverables, so you have a skill set and you're like, oh, I have the skill set, I can like monetize it somehow. Oh, let me just start doing stuff for free, or like tell me more about that.
Yeah, I didn't know how people charged for this stuff. I didn't know how they packaged it. I knew I could make content. I did it for myself
Okay.
for many, many years, and I would just do it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the point where I was actually originally trying to do more website stuff for clients, and they'd start asking me like, "Oh, like I don't care that my website is completely hacked right now, but can you get me on TikTok?"
Mm-hmm.
And I got that enough where I was like, "What if I just change from offering web stuff to social media?" And then I got a lot more positive feedback,
Mm-hmm.
and now I had to figure out how to build a business around that.
Yeah.
And I had no idea it was all, I mean, it was completely just getting out there, talking to people. I was doing cold calls every night from like 6 to 9 p.m. And because I'm
Wow.
on the East Coast, I was calling Hawaii. So I'm like, oh, it's 9:30. Let's see if we can get some people on the phone in Hawaii. And I'd start just talking to people, and I would, by doing so much, I would slowly learn like, okay, like people definitely don't want that. They keep asking me if I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe let me like say I could do that for them on the next one. If they say yes, I'll figure out how to do it.
Nice. So, and then when you said, so from like a deliverable perspective, so the clients that you did have, we were talking before, is like, oh, you need a video, and then you'd kind of like charge per video, or
Oh,
like,
100% per video. And yeah, and when I was doing this, we started over the summer, and I have no videography experience. My brother, he was doing it with me over the summer, and because I was working during the day, he could show up to places and film. And we when we were in high school, we had a little. We didn't make any money with it, but we placed like some videos on Sports Center, and
cool.
he's very. He films for ESPN in college and things like that, and he worked at the NBA um, when he was in college, and he would do all the filming. It was great, and then he went back to school, and I'm like, wait, I can't. How am I going to go to places? Like, I can't
Mhm.
do that during the day. I'm like, there goes my whole business model. So I'm like, trying to find places I can go on a Saturday morning or in the evenings, and it's just I'm driving places. A business is like, oh yeah, can you go to our job site this Saturday? It's like an hour and a half away, and I'm like, oh, so I'm gonna go there and charge like $20 a video.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Dang.
it
So
was
you
a
were ripping cold calls, sending direct messages, and you're charging per basically deliverable.
100%. And doing I was doing the invoices by hand afterwards. My invoices were taking me 90 minutes.
No way.
It
Oh
was
my
it was
gosh.
ridiculous. I'm like, I just, yeah, I should have charged for that, or
Yeah.
it was
Or
a
just
waste of time.
come up with a better system for it.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I felt weird charging up front. I felt weird charging. Everyone's like, oh, like, because I'd get the sales resistance at the beginning, like, oh, is this going to be a retainer? And I'm like, no, it's not going to be a retainer. I'll
Yeah.
just charge you. Like, it seemed reasonable to me,
Yeah.
but then I couldn't grow.
Yeah.
I was bottlenecked.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And you put in some work, my friend, and you've seen some killer results. But let's kind of start with like some of the foundational stuff, meaning like the offer. So you came into Agency U, and one of the first things that we always work on is the offer. So share a little bit about like the transformation for that and like what we landed on, and then we can kind of go to like the client acquisition stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the offer, I knew I could get people views, and that was my only case studies were getting views. And of course, if someone's going to pay me, they want to know, okay, you can get me views. What does that mean for our revenue? And I
Mhm.
had no answer. I had nothing to say to them.
Mhm.
I would pretty much tell them, well, you could try to get as many views as possible, and hopefully a small percentage of them will buy your thing. And I can't tell you what percentage that'll be. Um, didn't really work. It didn't work very well.
Yeah.
The value, it was hard for me too to justify the value to them.
Totally.
Why I was starting off not really charging people,
Yeah.
and especially with the authority funnel, that's a great thing too. Just even making content that if it performs well, I can now turn into an ad pretty easily.
Hmm.
And I didn't know what even a good cost per lead was.
Hmm.
Now, when someone's going, oh, if we're going to spend $500 a month on ads, what is that going to get us? And I can go into the numbers. I can pull up a spreadsheet. I can go, well, if we're going to spend this much, like, I'm not going to spend, your $500 if we don't get a single lead. We're going to spend, $100 and see what that gives us, and we'll test a couple creatives, and whichever one is a winner, we're going to double down on that and triple down on that and get your cost per lead down.
Yeah. So it's basically going from like being more of a deliverable type of offer, hard to justify your price with the client, kind of feeling bad for invoicing probably because you're like, what are they actually getting, to being
Oh
able to
yeah.
like understand like what an actual irresistible offer is, and then like have it be value based and outcome
And I
based.
would put so much stuff on the invoice on the house too, because I'm like, I
Yeah.
felt weird charging for stuff. And I also would drive to businesses on the weekends and talk to them.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the first ones I talked to, I was like rambling for like 10 minutes. I didn't know what to say. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, it seems like you don't even know what you're offering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't. I don't know what I'm offering.
Yeah. Yeah. So now the offer is more like outcome driven, just clear, and what, like
Completely.
10x the cost now?
Oh yeah. Like I won't take on a new client unless it's 5 grand up front for the most cases.
Yeah. Yeah. But you feel confident in that because we've been able to formulate your offer to be outcome driven. You can say, if we do this, then this is the ROI that you can actually expect.
Yeah, and also having clients that have paid that in the past, that's
Yeah.
a huge confidence. But it's like, well, I know I can. Other people, that's what other people are paying. That's what the value of the services are.
Yeah.
They're more valuable than that. You're getting 5 grand's a discount now.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Cool, man.
Yeah.
And then what about like sales? What was, I guess, what have been the sales results that you've been able to get, which we talked about a little bit. And then like, what specifically did you do to get that for
Yeah.
your business? And then what did you learn from Agency U to create that?
Yeah, I mean, before I came to Agency U, a good month would be $1,000, 1,500. The sales, there was no The sales process was me showing up in person to businesses and trying to convince them to pay me. And it's like I'm only targeting places I can drive to in 25, 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Most of them don't have the budget. It's harder to find 10 businesses that I can drive to that are, able to pay me and feel comfortable with that than if I can target the entire country,
Hmm.
which is what I do now. And my sales system now, like if I wanted to, I could, I mean, completely all stuff I learned through Agency U, I could, if someone told me you have to book 100 sales calls next week, I could do that.
Hmm.
Like, I feel very confident in that. Like I've had to scale down my outreach and my lead generation systems because I didn't have it. I was taking 10 sales calls in a week, and then I feel pretty confident. Like I can feel very confident I can close 20, 30% of them and it be a good relationship. And I didn't have the systems to take on that many clients,
Yeah.
which is a totally new problem. It was not knowing how I was going to pay for software that I was using, to not knowing how I was going to fulfill $5,000 packages.
Yeah. And what's the mechanism that you're doing to generate leads?
So right now, I love the authority funnel. I have used it I use it for my clients.
Hmm.
For me, just because my background is on the software side, there is something about cold email that I love.
Hmm.
And
Me
I think
too.
it's just more like my philosophy with it. Like, I love the back end, setting up the accounts,
Yeah.
playing around with them. Um,
You're an engineer, so
yeah,
yeah.
I love, and I love having like control over the system.
Yeah.
Like with the ads, I don't want to have to like wait for it to get approved,
Yeah.
which, ads are, I love ads too, but there is something cool just going like, I have these email accounts, like I can kind of take them to whatever platform I want.
Hmm.
And if, for whatever reason, these email accounts stop working, I can just get 10 more from somewhere else
Yeah.
and start back from, and be right back where I was in 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, it's really good to hear that you've been able to have a lot of success with cold email, because I think a lot of people, especially agencies, they're like, "Oh, cold email is dead. Oh, cold email doesn't work," that kind of stuff. So, what like specifically did you do, or like did you learn that makes cold email actually effective? You mentioned you didn't even like know what instantly was
Oh,
when we first started.
yeah. And now people who I was actually talking to someone right before this, they have a full in-house team that's using Instantly, and they're spending 5, 6 grand a month just on their team members using Instantly.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, we're sending like 300 to 400 emails a day or something, and we got a 10 email accounts. And I'm like, well, I got 250.
Yeah.
I'm sending like sometimes over 100,000 emails a month.
Yeah.
Like, and they want to bring me on as like a consultant and help them
Cool.
with their whole system. Like, I didn't know anything about this, and now I feel like I'm an expert. Like,
Yeah.
one of my campaigns I ran last week, just on my opener and my first follow up, I think was almost at 13% response rate,
Wow.
and positive was like half of that. So
No way.
almost 6% positive response rate.
That's
Ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah.
That is
I didn't
ridiculous.
know what to do. One day last week was a crazy day. I turned on a couple of campaigns at noon, wasn't really expecting it to be crazy, and I think I got close to 80 responses in
Wow.
like 4 hours, and I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning responding to
Oh
them. I
my
wasn't
gosh.
expecting that many responses,
Wow.
and yeah, it was ripping.
Wow. And what's like been like the financial results from like cold email and what you've been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, I had to stop taking on new clients for a couple for like 3-ish weeks last month going into this month. But considering I went from like when I joined HCU, I was at on a good month 1,500. I did 10K in 10 days in the door,
Nice.
which was something I never thought would happen.
Yeah. Because before you'd probably just like do deliverable based, and then you just be a slave to the
100%.
client, mind you, but like
Yeah.
create a job for yourself.
And I think a lot of it too is just having the confidence and finding the right clients. Like,
Mhm.
I can get in front of so many more people by doing a lot more outreach and having it's all. I mean, it's a lot of it's the leverage. Like,
Yeah.
I can only drive to so many places, but I can send out 10,000 emails in a day and get a pretty good grasp of who's interested, and then getting someone on the phone where it's like, you're like, oh, 5 grand, that's pretty cheap. Like, you're gonna find people like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
just getting enough volume to find someone who's like, oh, 5 grand, that's nothing. Is that a month? And I'm like, no, that's up
Yeah.
front. That's like a 3 month package. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, here's the
Yeah.
card.
Nice. Yeah. So sounds like, just to recap what I'm hearing. So the offer, making it more value based, so you're not like driving around doing deliverable based and like just creating jobs for yourself and just making yourself busy all
Yeah.
the time. And then client acquisition, actually coming up with a system that is scalable. So because like the other thing with the offer, it sounded like you were like driving, meeting people in person, which is just totally inefficient and trying to scale the unscalable. And then now it's just you can work with whoever, wherever, and you have a huge TAM. So now you can work with anybody wherever. And then the client acquisition, yeah, like you're scaling the scalable because you have the foundation of a really solid offer that is actually scalable with a mechanism like cold email.
100%. And I didn't have any roadmap of how to scale. Like
Hmm.
now talking with, the mentors I'm working with, um, I know what I'm going to do over the next 3 months to get to 20K a month. I know how I'm going to get to
Totally.
50. I know how I'm going to get to 100. I know like what I'm going to do in each one of those steps.
Yeah.
And before that, it was just hopefully more money will come in the door.
Yeah.
Now I know exactly what I need
Predictable.
to do.
Yeah, and confident on the future because you know the steps to do it. And then also like
100%.
the other thing there, it's like one thing to have a really good offer and like get a lot of clients, but like $50,000 a month business is a lot different. And you probably feel confident even with like the systems and like the ability to like fulfill without going crazy as a result. Because I feel like a lot of these programs promise, oh, we're gonna get you 100 leads, 100 days, blah blah blah, and then it's like, okay, once you get that, good luck fulfilling. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. The systems, I had no systems. Of course, like I remember you, and I think one of your VSLs before I joined agency, you were talking about how you're using Google Docs and Google Drive, and I was doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was no the operating system was me sending iMessages to myself, putting stuff in notes. I'd have so many spreadsheets in so many places. Now
Yeah.
I've got Notion databases for all my clients. I have Notion
Nice.
databases for myself. I have everything. My email campaigns. I have 2 cold callers now. That's all integrated into
Nice.
Notion. Reminders, follow-ups. It's all, yeah. It's a system. And as
Sure.
an engineer too, like it's cool to have something where it feels like a
It's a
machine.
system. Yeah, that's literally what a business is, and all you need to do is scale up the system.
And now that it's all in one place too, like last night I needed to like move stuff around, and with Notion I wrote still, well, ChatGPT helped me, but I wrote a small little script that like moved a bunch of stuff around, cleaned up my database, the Notion database.
Nice.
There was no place to clean up. There was just stuff all over before.
Yeah. Yeah. Killer, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super pumped for what's to come for you. What's been like the most beneficial thing or like helpful thing inside of agency? Obviously, there's like the group calls, the one-to-ones, the Slack, blah blah blah. Like, what's been most needle moving for you?
I mean, 100%. I think it's been the one-on-one mentorship, because you can watch so many YouTube videos, you can read so much. Having someone who's been there
Hmm.
and knows like what they would do in your shoes, even if it's sometimes, because a lot of the cases it's going to be the thing that you don't think of, or that's not intuitive, but they're going to see problems that you're not going to see, and they can get you so much far ahead.
Hmm.
Because you hear all these people talk about, oh, like if I lost everything, I could get back where I was in X amount of time.
Yeah.
And having someone like that sitting down with you for a half an hour and going through everything that you're having struggles with, and going, this is how you should respond to this client. Like, I wouldn't include that in your contract.
Yeah.
You should charge like X amount more for this. And even on the spot, like in real time,
Hmm.
like as things are happening, having feedback and just not feeling unsure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of it was, I was so much uncertainty. I had no direction. I had no guidance
Yeah.
with any of it.
So what you're saying, we didn't just feed you into a bunch of modules and say, good luck, here's a
Oh
community,
no.
and good
Yeah,
luck.
and the
We have.
modules are great. The community is incredible. I've actually I've networked a lot within the community.
Cool.
I've had a lot of phone calls with other agency
Nice.
members that have been super helpful. I've got so many connections. I get all my email accounts now from someone I met through Agency U.
Sick.
And even just hearing, people are very transparent with what they price things at, how they handle different client situations.
Yeah.
There's someone posted something either this morning or last night about how they had a question about how they to handle something with a client. I'm like, oh, actually, like I have to deal with that. I'm like, I don't think I dealt with it effectively. I'm
Yeah.
looking at all the responses. I'm like, oh, I probably should have done. Like that's
Yeah.
a really good idea.
Nice.
It's just the sharing, and everyone's pretty open and transparent, and really looking to help each other out.
Yeah.
It's
Facts.
pretty cool. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah. Love it. Cool, man. And then somebody watching this right now who's maybe considering agency, maybe they're thinking about booking the call, maybe they booked a call. What would you say to those people? Like, I mean, any coaching program, naturally you think, okay, they're just like marketing really well. I see their ads all the time, and sure, they're just really good marketers. Like, what would you say being on the inside to that person?
I think you need to take. Are you gonna cut this out? Do you mind if I like take 1 second?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because there's a couple different things. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Gather your thoughts.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely a piece of advice I would give to someone who's considering agency you got to put in the work. Like there's no magic. I think a lot of people are looking for a magic solution. There is no magic solution. There's just hard work and doing the right things. But I think the hardest thing is knowing what are the right things to do. I could probably even redo that.
Sure.
You want to ask the question one more time? So this is a question for people who.
So someone's watching this and they've watched the videos. They maybe have these like preconceptions that like, oh, they're just like really good marketers. But like you've been on the inside. Like what would you say to the person who's considering agency you essentially? Like the person who is like thinking to themselves, oh, this is just a bunch of fluff. I don't think this can actually work for me. That kind of deal.
Is there anything like in particular like that people say with this?
I mean, I want you to speak to how you speak, but I think what like would be good is, I mean, what I like the angle that you went, like there's like you could even relate like the first time I saw Agency U, I was skeptical and I jumped on a sales call and I consumed these same videos and I was like really, really nervous because it's like a large investment. And uh, being on the inside of it, like I feel really confident in it because I was able to put the work in that was assigned to me. They have all of the pillars there to help you get there. But the link really is me to put the work in, which I put my head down and did and saw the results I did. Something like that
Yeah.
would be like what I hear based off of what you're telling me.
Yeah. Do you want to ask the question one more time? Or
Sure, let's do it.
okay.
So for somebody watching this and who maybe had a sales call or is thinking about booking a sales call and is thinking to themselves, I don't know if this can work for me, or they're just like really good marketers. You being on the inside, like what would you say to that person?
Well, yeah, I mean, 100%. I was definitely in their shoes when I before I joined Agency U. I got bombarded with different ads of different coaching programs to scale agencies. Most of them made me nauseous. I remember I saw your ads and I'm like, oh, this seems yours were different. I think your ads they didn't first off like your ads stood out from a lot of the other ones. I felt like you gave I learned a lot from watching a lot of the free content you put out too. Just around having systems, having steps in place, and I watched a couple videos too, like on the authority funnel And I also watched a lot of the case studies that you did, and I reached out to the people that were in the case studies and I talked to them. I I remember there was one, I can't remember his name right now, but we talked for a while. He was super helpful. And one of the things he was saying too is, especially on the sales side, he's like, I had no experience with sales. I didn't know what I was doing. I followed the steps. It was all just there. These aren't he wasn't guessing anymore. It was They were specific steps to follow. This is what you do in the first 5 minutes of the call. This is how you transition it to your offer. This is how you present your offer.
Mm.
The things not to do. And now being on the inside of it, I even just on the sales call yesterday or last week with Gilberto, going through someone's showing their slides, and it's like you might not want to put that there. You might want to, phrase this thing differently. It's there are steps to follow, but it's also not just a generic here's a course. I don't think of
Mm.
this as a course at all. Like
Mm.
I went through all the modules. The modules are great, but I think like the biggest benefit to it is working with people in the community, working with my coaches, and
Yeah.
getting that personalized. It's really it's not like a course.
Yeah.
It's real mentorship. It's real guidance.
It's not like a self-paced, hey, watch this video and then just execute and you'll have success. It's like we actually jump on calls, we give you a Slack channel, like all that sort of stuff.
And yeah,
And
the way
make
that I
ourselves
think
available.
about it, yeah, like and the way that I think about it in my business is it's like having it's like paying it's like an employee. Like this is like it's like having a bunch of employees and a bunch of team members and partners that have been there before. Like it's because it is talent, it is guidance. These are conversations that are worth paying for. And I'm definitely someone. If I was an agency, I probably would be exactly where I was,
Yeah.
probably even a little bit worse if I even was still doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it is like a little bit scary too, when you're only bringing in $1,500 a month, and I'm sure not all of that is profit. To drop a lot of money up front, I think you have to be a little bit. You have to be a little bit of a risk taker. But you have to take risks to if you want to have outsized rewards. Like you
Yeah.
have to bet on yourself, and at the end of the day, if you're paying for skills, like I've had calls with mentors before, with an agency where I have 100% gotten $10,000 of value in 30 minutes.
Mm.
And in some cases, I've implemented something the next day and closed thousands of dollars from it.
Yeah.
Like there's direct, it's not just, let me watch this video and see if I can apply it. It's like, no, this is how you're going to close this client tomorrow. This is exactly what you're going to say. This is how you handle the
Nice.
situation.
Yeah. No doubt. So you're saying it's not just a course, it's actually mentorship. It's actually like one-to-one. It can be scary, it can feel scary, but if you're willing to put the work in, then you will reap the reward for sure.
100%. If you got to be the kind of person too that's going to put in the work.
Yeah.
Like no one's going to hold your hand through every single step.
Hmm.
They'll definitely, hold your hand through the like when you're on a call and like really guide you through it. But the other hours of the week, you got to
Yeah.
implement everything that you're learning, and it might not happen in the same trajectory as other people. Like there are like in the community, you'll see people that close $40,000 in like 2 weeks, and it can get intimidating. And it's like,
Hmm.
these people, they're just different. Like, are they even real? Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
how can someone do this? I'm like, that person's in college. Like, how are they? How do
Yeah.
they have a business that's doing $100,000 a month?
Hmm.
But then
Hmm.
you really like you talk to them. Everyone's very open and willing to help others, and you can see exactly how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Then I see people post the wins, and it's inspiring because it's like, oh, they closed, 3K today. They closed 5K today. Like, let me send a couple more messages. Like, let's see what we
Yeah.
can get going on my
Nice.
end.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I remember the first time Matt posted my wins in there, and I was so proud. I'm like,
Nice.
seeing my name on the Wins channel.
Let's go.
Um, yeah, and I think it takes, especially like if you're starting from $1,500 a month, like, and for me, like also working full time, like I couldn't put in 85 hours to jumpstart it. Like I was putting in 30 to 40, but
Mhm.
you might not get to, like I didn't get to 10K until I think my fifth month,
Mhm.
maybe.
Mhm.
But another thing too is I really do, I look up to and I try to learn a lot from the people who have been in HCU for longer than
Mhm.
4 months, the ones that have been there for a year, 8 months, and seeing how much growth. I think a lot of growth, at least for me and a lot of the people like I've seen too, like especially like from my size, getting, because the first like 4 months I was just getting, I didn't know what I was doing. I was
Yeah.
learning so much, and then now I've become like an expert at it, and now
Mhm.
it's like more aggressively scaling.
Yeah.
And I think a year from now I could be 10x where I am right now.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. And everybody in agency started at $1,500 a month. So at one point in their business, even me, I was at $1,500 a month at one point in my business. So, cool, man. Max, appreciate you doing this. Appreciate you sharing your story and your journey. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on. It's surreal. It's an
Let's
honor.
go, dude. You made it. You earned it.